You know that exact moment when you finally get paid, and for about, 12 seconds, life just feels perfectly peaceful. Your bank account actually looks healthy, and you're thinking, okay, this month is going to be different. I'm going to save, I'm going to be super responsible, right? And then reality hits. Rent, groceries, gas, that one streaming subscription you literally haven't watched since 2022, a random birthday dinner, a sudden car repair, and somehow before the month is even over, you're staring at your account just thinking, wait a minute, where did all the money go? And you know what the absolute worst part is? This doesn't just happen once. It plays on a continuous loop. And frankly, every single generation thinks they are the very first ones to deal with it. Boomers thought they had it the hardest. Gen X thought they had it the hardest. Millennials, Gen Z, and honestly, they are all kind of right. The economy definitely changes, but human behavior, yeah, that doesn't budge.
So here's the thing we really need to get into in today's explainer. The biggest financial mistake most people make is actually not buying a $6 coffee. It's really not just eating out too much. The absolute biggest mistake is building a lifestyle before building financial stability. Because once that upgraded lifestyle becomes your new normal, trying to go backward feels almost impossible. That is the core generational trap we are unpacking today.
Now, this trap usually starts super quietly. It starts with just one little upgrade. The moment your income goes up, your brain immediately creates this new identity. You don't think to yourself, oh, I'm increasing my fixed expenses. No, you think, I worked hard, I deserve this. But look, the danger here isn't enjoying your money. It's turning temporary wants into permanent monthly obligations. A nice vacation? That's expensive once. A nicer apartment? That is expensive every single month. A fancy dinner out is expensive once, but a hefty car payment hits you every month. A lifestyle built around constant, permanent upgrades is basically expensive forever.
Let's look at a really simple example to put this into perspective. Imagine two people. Person A earns $3,000 a month. Person B earns $5,000. At first glance, person B should be way ahead, right? But here is what usually happens in the real world. Person A spends $2,800, so they save $200. Person B, well, they upgrade everything. Nicer apartment, newer car, the works. So they end up spending $4,950, saving just $50. Person B literally earns $2,000 more every single month, but ends up saving less. Earning more money absolutely does not automatically equal saving more money. Which brings us to the actual, real definition of wealth. Wealth is not your income, period. Wealth is the gap between what you earn and what you spend. The bigger that gap is, the more options you have in life. If you earn $5,000 and you spend $5,000, you aren't financially free. You are just running on a much more expensive treadmill. And trust me, that treadmill only speeds up as your lifestyle grows.
And as we've seen, different generations just use entirely different tools to hop on this exact same treadmill. One generation bought bigger houses they couldn't afford, another financed flashy cars, another maxed out credit cards, and today it's buy now, pay later apps. But guys, it is the exact same mistake. It's literally like building the second floor of a house before pouring the concrete foundation. At first, it looks like you're making incredible progress, but eventually the whole structure just starts to sway.
And that shaking, that usually begins when real life inevitably happens. According to the Federal Reserve, only about 2/3 of adults could cover a $400 emergency using cash. Just really think about that for a second. A $400 emergency. We're not talking $4,000, just $400. For millions of people, a financial shock that small is literally all it takes to push them straight into debt. So, you might be wondering, why do we let this happen? Well, it's because our human brains are just completely terrible at processing gradual change. I mean, if your rent doubled overnight, you'd panic, right? But if it happens slowly, you just sort of adjust. This is lifestyle creep in action. A $12 monthly subscription here, an $80 dinner there, a $300 car payment. Individually, absolutely none of these look dangerous. But together, they quietly leak away your wealth and form your entire financial identity. And today, that identity is under non-stop pressure. You are constantly comparing your real life to thousands of curated highlight reels on your phone every single day. Feeling behind makes people spend money just to catch up. But here's a really vital reality check for us all. A lot of the people you're trying so hard to keep up with are also broke. They are just broke with better lighting. From the outside, it looks like total success, but inside they are drowning in the exact same payments. So what's fueling all that fake success? Debt. Debt lets you live tomorrow's lifestyle today. It makes expensive choices feel like just another small monthly payment. But they are essentially financial termites. Get this, Total U.S. household debt recently hit a staggering $18.8 trillion, according to the New York Fed. That's where we're at. When you live like this, your paycheck arrives and it's already spent on yesterday's decisions. But there's this massive hidden cost we rarely even think about, and that's opportunity cost. When you spend $300, your brain tells you it just cost $300. But the real cost is what that money could have become. For instance, if you took a $300 a month lifestyle upgrade and just invested it for 30 years at an 8% return, it becomes roughly $447,000, almost $500,000. That is what you are actually trading away for a slightly nicer car right now.
So why on earth are we so willing to make that trade? Mostly because every generation completely underestimates time. Think about it. At age 22, retirement feels entirely fake. At 32, it's just a distant blare. At 42, it suddenly starts feeling very real. And by 52, you're sitting there saying, man, I really wish I started earlier. We miss out because the magic of compounding is, frankly, super boring and unimpressive at first, and we're just too impatient to let the seed grow.
And you can see the direct result of all that impatience in the data. Vanguard's How America Saves report shows that while average retirement account balances might actually look okay, the median balance, which represents the typical person, is drastically lower. So people are technically participating in retirement plans? Sure, but they aren't saving nearly enough. They are keeping today's lifestyle afloat by basically borrowing from their imaginary future selves.
Okay, so how do we actually fix this? The good news is you absolutely don't need to be miserable and cut out all the joy in your life. You really just need to flip the order of your money habits. The normal order most people follow is earn money, upgrade your lifestyle, pay bills, spend, and then try to save whatever leftovers are there. But the stable order? That's earn money, save and invest first, pay your bills, and then enjoy whatever is left completely guilt-free. When you save last, your lifestyle dictates your future. But when you save first, your future protects your lifestyle.
To put that stable order into actual practice, here are 5 specific, practical steps to reverse this whole generational mistake. 1. Create a stability gap. 2. Freeze your lifestyle after raises. 3. Attack fixed expenses first. 4. Build a 1-month buffer. And 5. Make investing automatic. Let's dive into these.
Step 2 is an absolute game changer. The very next time your income goes up, give yourself a 3 to 6 month freeze before you upgrade your lifestyle. Literally, keep living exactly like you did before. If you get a $500 monthly raise, capture it. Direct it toward your financial goals before your lifestyle just naturally absorbs it. This brief little window, when your income rises but your spending stays flat, that is the exact moment true wealth is built.
Moving on to step 3. This targets the real budget killers. Look, people obsess over skipping $5 coffees, but data from the 2024 Bureau of Labor Statistics shows that housing and transportation make up more than half of average household spending. These are the big fixed expenses you absolutely must attack first. Because think about it, if you can reduce a fixed expense like a car payment by $300, that is an automatic win every single month and it requires zero extra willpower. Next up is building that buffer. Having just one single month of basic living expenses saved radically shifts your reality. It literally turns a blown tire from a terrifying financial crisis into just an annoying Tuesday. It turns a delayed paycheck from a total catastrophe into a minor inconvenience. This buffer gives you real foundational confidence because you know one stroke of bad luck isn't going to completely knock you over. Finally, step 5. Always remember this rule. Motivation is unreliable. Automation is boring, but it works. You have got to put your investments on autopilot, even if it's literally just $25 or $50 a paycheck. Establish the habit now, long before you ever feel rich. Don't rely on your own willpower to manually move that money around. Just set up the transfer once and let the system do all the heavy lifting in the background.
Ultimately, the whole point here isn't to stop enjoying your life. It's simply to upgrade things in the correct order. Right? Stability first, then the lifestyle. Emergency fund first, then you take the vacation. Debt control first, then you buy the nicer car. Investing first, then the luxury items. When you build the foundation first, your lifestyle becomes genuinely enjoyable because it's no longer propped up by crushing stress. Your spending actually brings joy instead of this constant low-level panic. If we ignore that order, we just get trapped. People grind away for 10 years, look around, realize they have absolutely nothing to show for it, and then they deliver the exact same warning to the younger generation. Start earlier, don't make the mistakes I made, save your money, invest sooner, be really careful with debt. And the younger generation? They nod and then immediately repeat the exact same pattern, just using newer apps and newer excuses.
You have to break the pattern. Comfort without stability is incredibly fragile. It looks totally amazing right up until life gets hard. And spoiler alert, life always gets hard eventually. Making more money doesn't magically make things easier if your baseline habits are broken. You must interrupt the cycle, or else a higher salary just ends up buying you a much higher level of financial pressure.
So to help you actually interrupt that cycle, here are 3 specific, very doable actions you can take this week to start pouring that concrete foundation. You don't need to be perfect, just try to do this. First, calculate your gap to see what you actually keep. Second, find just one fixed expense to reduce. And third, automate one single transfer, no matter how small it is. Start small, protect your gap, and fiercely guard yourself against lifestyle inflation.
Which brings us to the end of our explainer today. I really want to leave you with one critical question to think about. What is one lifestyle upgrade you are willing to delay right now so you can build your financial stability first? Seriously, let me know in the comments, because making that one decision today is exactly how you stop repeating the mistake. Thanks so much for joining me, and keep building that foundation.